This is T Minus Today. I'm your host Dave, and we need to talk about GPU prices. Now, Navi has launched. So July 7th, Navi launched. 2019, awesome. We are finally going to get some competition in the GPU space. So after RTX launched, prices shot sky high. We have a $1,250 graphics card right now as the 2080 Ti. It's reigning supreme. We need some more budget and mid-range cards. Navi was supposed to be the savior, essentially, and some people leaked that it was going to be, I think over at Adored, they talked about how it might be $250. That was a little pipe dream. I was hoping maybe like $300, but they came out, I think it was almost $400 and $450 to the XT version. But they knocked those prices back, thankfully, and now we've kind of settled into some prices. And let's just take a look at some of those right now. All right, so let's take a look at the 5700, just the 5700, right? And just see where we're at. So the Radeon 5700 pricing. We're just going to look at Newegg specifically, and we'll just take a look here. All right, 5700 XT, ASRock is like, so we're looking at AIB cards. We don't want the reference cooler. Yuck, gross. So they don't actually perform terribly. They're hot and loud. Loud is the biggest thing for me. I hate loud. So the 5700 XT is $409. And the 5700 is $359. These were in stock earlier this afternoon. Now they're both out of stock. Kind of crazy. Everything is out of stock. Out of stock, out of stock, out of stock. So prices don't seem to be hurting the market, I guess. I think they're priced incredibly high, especially for the die size. The die size is like under 200 or like 254 millimeters squared for the 5700 or something like that. It is not huge. I mean, what's the die size for 2070? The 2070. What is the die size? I don't know. Let's see if we can find it real quick. Die area of 545 millimeters squared. Wow. Now let's look at the die size for the 2700 XT, right? 5700 5700 XT. My bad. Die size. Die area of 251. I said 254, but I was relatively close with. Okay, so half the die area. Half the die area. And it's going for $400 and up, almost up to $500. The 2070 Super, I believe, is a $500 card. Very expensive. I really feel like the Radeons could be cheaper. Now, so when they released back in, AIB partner cards just barely came out. Like this last Friday, when did it come out? On Thursday or Friday, the 16th, we finally get these AIB cards, and they're still expensive. In fact, like the GTX 2060, for example, let's just look it up on Newegg again. The GTX 2060, I feel like it went up in price. They're going for like $350 for the GTX 2060 dual fan. Let's see if we can find a single slot cooler. Single slot cooler. I saw this for like $289 just a couple of weeks ago. $289 for that card. Now it's $364? What's going on? What can we do about it? Let's talk about that. What can we do about these crazy and nutty prices? Obviously, just don't buy graphics cards right now. It's not a great time. Maybe buy a used one and tell them, hey, you know what? I'm not sure. It's a difficult call. I want to buy a graphics card. I've been stuck on a 970 for the last 4 years. And let's see, I bought mine for $220-ish if you count the $30 rebate I got. So what goes for $220? Like the RX 570 is essentially the 970. So it's a little bit, prices are falling for sure. Great. That's awesome. but like the 590, you know, look for the 590 for get a little bit more performance. It's a $200 card still. That's craziness. So I think if I was gonna get a card, if I had to get a card today with these kind of prices, what would I do? I would buy used. I would either buy a 980 Ti or a GTX 2070 or maybe a GTX 1070 or a 1660 Ti. I might even get a Vega 56 if you're comfortable with like undervolting and underclocking a little bit so it doesn't just burn a hole through your case with how hot and loud it is. And mostly the loudness. The loudness is what gets me. If a card is hot, it's going to be loud. If it uses a lot of energy, you know, if it's a 200 watt card, you can be like, that's going to be a loud card in my case. So we may have lost the battle, but we haven't lost the war, because we know that Intel is going to come into the GPU fight, probably the mid-range. Integrated graphics will start like getting into like the $120 space, like where the RX 570 is currently hanging right now. Like, eventually, we may start seeing, I mean, relatively soon, we may start seeing integrated graphics that are as powerful as, you know, my GTX 970 or the RX 570. It's going to happen, people. So the takeaway for this video is I was really hoping that GPU prices would kind of start coming down. So they went up crazy high for the crypto mining, and they came down a little bit, and then the RTX lineup from NVIDIA came out, and they shot up again, and we just kind of accepted that price tier, which is unfortunate. For me, if I was going to buy a graphics card right now, let's jump back over into this. Let me show you my screen here real quick. If I was going to get a used graphics card, I'd probably go to eBay. Right? Probably go to eBay, and then I'd probably search for a 1070. And I'd probably buy a 1070. Because you can also get a 980 Ti for around $200 right now, I think. Or you can get a $230 1070, which I think is a pretty good price. I mean, it's not amazing. Look at this pre-owned 209. Boom. If my graphics card died today, I would get on eBay and I would buy one of these 1070s listed here, because it's about as fast as a 1660 Ti, and the 1660 Tis still go for $270. I don't think the extra $50 is really worth it. You know, the $50 or $60 or however much the delta is going to be worth it for me personally. I'm really hoping that prices will start to come down. Like, I guess I used to be like a mid-range gamer at $200, but it feels like I'm more like the entry-level gamer now. But, you know, I'm going to stick to like the $200, maybe might bump it up to $250 at some point. But right now I'm trying to keep it around $200, and we'll just see how it plays out. So that's it. That's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to talk about the crazy GPU prices. Let me know what you think about the GPU prices. Have you bought any graphics cards recently? Comment, subscribe, hit that like button if you'd like, hit the notification. I'm just barely started, so I'm trying to get videos out every week, maybe get them out twice a week. That would be best, but, you know, we'll see. And we'll see you next time.